Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Isela. Welcome to my channel. Pebbles. Sorry, that was my dog. But today we are doing the do's and don'ts of makeup. Just a disclaimer, makeup is all about personal preference and having fun with it and doing what you like. And of course, everyone has different tastes. This is just my personal preference, things I think look good for me and things that don't. So yeah, now that that's out there, let's just begin. So this is gonna be my do side and this is gonna be my don't side. Step 1, primer. I'm going to be taking my Hangover RX primer. Step 2, brows. And I'm going to be taking this brow powder from the Brow Gal and taking this angled brush. I'm going to do light strokes starting at the bottom. And I'm just going to fill in the spots that are really sparse. And then as you're building that up, you want to make sure to blend it out. Now I think there's a lot of ways you could go wrong with eyebrows, and trust me, I have done them all. It is just a lot of trial and error on what works best for you, and you have to practice a lot to get things how you want them to look. Now I think there's 2 big no-nos. I'm just going to take the same brow palette, but I'm going to be taking this lightest shade right here, because a big no-no is taking a shade that is not your eyebrow shade. This shade is way too light for me. It actually doesn't look that drastic now that I'm looking at it. I've never tried this. And another big no-no is filling your brows in like blocks. So that would be making them square and making them filled in all the way. And also, if you were to take them out and either drag them down or too far out, it would look really crazy. So like I've been saying, you could fill in the end of your brows as much as you want, but the makeup guru sort of thing to do would to be like this, like a gradient effect, to make sure it's really light at the front. So it would be bad if you just made a block of eyebrows and it was all really dark. And also, overdrawing your eyebrows a lot is not cute either. And of course, this looks extra drastic on me because I already have super thick eyebrows. Like I did minimal like overdrawing on this. But as you can see here, this is a hot mess. Another major key to get super crisp, clean brows is to clean them up with concealer. So I'm just going to take my Tarte Shape Tape and I'm just going to take a flat brush. Step 3, prime your eyelids. Bring it down to blend it out. A step you don't want to skip is to set your eyelids down. So you could use any type of powder or even like an eyeshadow, like a white or a beige nudish eyeshadow. But I'm just taking my Laura Mercier translucent powder and setting that all down. So priming your eyelids is super important because it just helps your shadows blend nice and evenly and you don't have any like patches. I have really dry eyelids, so if I were to not set them and prime them, my eyeshadow would be a patchy mess. So for this eye, I am not going to set it or anything. Step 4, eyeshadow. For this eye look, I'm going to be taking my Modern Renaissance. So you really want to take a nice and big fluffy brush for your transition shade. And I'm going to be taking Raw Sienna. And I'm going to go in with very little at first and dust off the excess, because you don't want to go in with too much at one time because then it'll be really difficult to blend out. And you just want to keep blending that out as much as possible. Next I'm going to take Relgar. I have a more in-depth how to blend eyeshadow video. If you want to check that out, it'll be in the description box. And for the outer corner, taking Red Ochre. And I'm taking that on a really small blending brush. It is not necessarily pointed, but it's really tight and dense, and it really blends shadow well, especially in a tight place like the outer corner. And I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not going to cut my crease, because you guys see me do that 1,000,001 times. So I'm just going to take Primavera with my finger. And for the next eye, we are going to do the complete opposite of this. So all of these colors really go well together. They are nice and blended. You go from lightest to darkest. You get that whole pretty gradient effect. So you already know how it goes, the good things to do, the brushes and everything. So I'm just going to do the complete opposite of that. Taking Noir from Anastasia, it's just a black eyeshadow on that little smudger brush. And we're going to put that onto our crease with this brush. It's happening. Oh my god, this is so ugly. Oh my gosh. And do you see what I meant by the patchiness? It's just like grabbing onto weird places of my eye. I think this is starting to look good. So like I said, you want colors to match and stuff and kind of mesh well together. I can't think of a more opposite color of black than yellow. And I'm going to take a blending brush. And we're not going to blend it out at all. It could be worse, honestly. So we're just going to move on. Step 5, foundation. There's also a million ways you can go wrong with foundation. So you want to make sure that it is really close to your skin color. And you want to go down your neck as well. I'm just taking a fluffy, dense foundation brush. This is the Morphe M439. And the best way to use a brush like this is to pounce it on and blend it into the skin. For this side, I'm going to be taking my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. I'm actually so excited to use this foundation. This is my favorite foundation, but it is super light on me right now. So I haven't been able to use it for months. You guys, this foundation is so full coverage, and it's not like cakey or anything. It's just like perfect. This is definitely way too much for one side of my face. And the no-no for applying foundation with a brush would be to swipe it. And I know a lot of people prefer this or like to do it, but I just think it takes away a lot of the coverage. It looks streaky. So this is what we're looking like. Step 6, concealer. And I don't know if you can see, but without primer, this is so dry. And like you could see my pores a lot more. I don't know if you could tell. I don't even know if that's true. For concealer, you want to use a concealer that complements your skin really well, that covers up your bags really well, and is the right shade. And I'm just going to blend this in with a beauty blender. This is my Maybelline Fit Me. This is my go-to actually. I would say this is darker, maybe not. But I'm going to take this. I don't think there's any way concealer can go too bad. Step 7, set your face. And then I'm going to set my under eye with Laura Mercier. And also my nose because I have a dry nose. I'm not going to bake it, I'm just going to set it. And because I have a dry nose, foundation will break up around my nose, but if I set it like this, it will not. And then I'm also going to set the rest of my face with it so that it doesn't budge. And that is honestly the most important part. So the don't is don't forget to set your face. So I'm not going to set this side. And if you don't set your under eyes, they are going to get very creasy very fast. So I'm quickly just going to do my lower lash line. And I'm just going to take Relgar and Red Ochre and just mix those together. And then on this side, I'm going to take that black eyeshadow. This is really dramatic for this video's purpose. But you don't want to go too far down, because then you'll look like a raccoon, like I do. And he like turned blue because I didn't set that concealer. Step 8, bronzer and contour. To me, these go hand in hand. Sometimes I do contour, sometimes I do bronzer. Sometimes I'll do both, but today I'm just going to do bronzer, and I'm going to take my Kat Von D Shade Light palette, taking this middle shade right here on a Morphe R7 brush. It is just a big fluffy bronzer brush. And you just want to drag that across, spread that product around, don't go in with a crazy amount. And you want to make sure that the tone of the bronzer suits your skin really well. So for me, I am a little bit more tan, so a medium toned, bronzy, not too orangey bronzer works really well for me. Okay, so I'm going to take this cool tone right here and use that as a bronzer. And I'm not going to blend it out, I'm just going to pat it on. And this is super gross since I didn't set my face. Look how patchy it is. She's not cute. So that was bronzer. For contour, I'm going to take this darkest shade right here, going in with a light amount at first. And then blending it out into the hollows of my cheeks. And it really helps to look a lot more natural if you start blending it upward, blending it into the bronzer. So there you have a nice, natural cut for the don'ts. I'm just gonna go ham in it. That is a no-no. And just doing a stripe. And of course I am over exaggerating and making it look extra. Step 9, highlight. Taking a Fuego, and I'm going to start in circular motions, so it is not just like a stripe of highlight. And these are going to go hand in hand, so I'm just going to add step 10, the blush, in my BH Cosmetics blush palette. And you want to make sure to really blend that out and upwards and blend in with that highlight. And you also want to pick a blush that would complement your makeup, complement your eye makeup, whatever it may be. So I just picked like browns and neutrals. So of course for this one I'm going to be taking this hot pink shade and taking too much of it and not blending it out with your other face products. I'm just gonna blend it out everywhere, but too much of it. And to finish off the eyes, I'm just going to take some mascara. What is this, step 12? Mascara is really important to really make that eye pop and open up. So for this one, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to apply falsies or anything. I'm just going to keep it simple and to the point. Falsies are not necessary. They are not a do or don't. Step 13, lips. So since you could literally never go wrong with lip gloss, taking over the top. You don't want to take a lip color that is really unflattering, doesn't go with your look. To me personally, this would never ever look good on me. So of course I'm going to put that on. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Sydney. And that is not bashing on that lipstick or anything, it just doesn't work for me. Step 14, set your face. This just helps all of the makeup melt in your skin, all nice and blended, and it'll keep your makeup on throughout the day. So that is all for this do and don'ts makeup tutorial. If you are a beginner to makeup, I hope this helped you a little bit. Of course, this was over dramatic, this was being extra, just some things that could go wrong. Let me zoom you guys in to see both sides. So on the do side, she cute. I don't know her. Can you tell how bad the texture is on this side because I didn't set it and I just put all those products on top? And how patchy it is and ugly. Ew. Zoom out. So there you go. I hope this was a little helpful if you are a beginner. Again, if you prefer any of these things, that is fine. Makeup is 100% creativeness. Do whatever you want. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up for me so I will know. Subscribe if you are not already. Turn on my notifications if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. I am uploading 3 times a week. So I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys!